Okay, it is time to change the strings on my Nylon Yamaha NTX 700. So I thought I'd kind of film it today, see how it goes, show you how I change the strings. Okay, so this is what we're trying to do. I don't know how well you can see this, but all the strings move to the inside so they can be tied off. There's nothing here, and there's nothing here. It's all to the inside. So I'll show you how I do that. Okay, I got the strings off. I'm about to clean and polish the body. I take the nut and the saddle off, so if you do that, make sure you remember the orientation of the saddle, because it can go either way, but you just would like to make sure you put it back the way that you took it apart. So just make sure you're aware of which way the saddle is. Here's the 3 products I use on the guitar. On a daily basis to keep off the fingerprints and grime, I use the Dunlop 65 guitar polish and cleaner. Does a nice job, just gets everything off quick. For deep polish, I like to use the D'Addario Restore Detailer. It kind of helps with the scratches. And for the fretboard and the saddleboard, I use the Dunlop 65. It's like lemon oil. So anyway, I use all 3 of these products every time I change the guitar strings. Okay, the body has been waxed and I'm ready to work on the fretboard. This is where I just put the lemon oil on, let that soak in, wipe it off, and we'll be ready to put the strings on. One thing I will say at this point, make sure you get a good clean here, because you won't be able to get at that after the strings are on, as well as on the headstock, because once the strings are on, you won't be able to clean that at all. But anyway, onto the fretboard. This is pretty simple. I just take this, put it on each fret, making sure I get all the way up to the fret itself. Let it soak in. Okay. All the strings have been dabbed with the lemon oil. Now I'm simply going to wipe it off. Polish each fret. Try to get rid of any gunk that's up against the keys. It's amazing what you get off. Okay, everything's polished. Looking good. I know the body's going to get fingerprints again, so yeah, we'll be polishing that again, but we're ready for strings. Like I said, I use the D'Addarios. These are the Pro Arty Nylons EJ45. I buy a 3-pack because they're cheaper. And I like these guys because they got a rewards program if you use them. First of all, don't forget, because I've done this, don't forget to put your saddle and your nut and your saddle back in if you took them out. I've done that and I go, oh, how come the strings aren't working? Anyway, like I said, we're going to tie these outside in. So what I start with is the E string on each side. I'll start with the low E, then the high E. I'll show you how I tie them. All right? That should work. Okay, here we go with the lower E. Now, the bigger strings have 2 different kinds of ends. They got the solid end, and then there's kind of a flimsy end. I use the flimsy end. All right, poke it through this way and bring it out here. Then you're going to do out to in. On these 3, it's out to in. These 3, it's out to in. That's how you do this. So, because we're going to go out. Give yourself an extra space. You can have extra. You want to make sure you have enough. Then, after you come around, you're going to put it through here 3 times, twice, 2 or 3 times, whatever you feel like. 2 works. Okay, I'll go with 2. You do 2. Now, you see when you tighten that, the string's going that way, which is exactly where you want it to go. Okay, I bring it up here, and I kind of get it started. Then I'm coming up here. Pretty much just like you would normally do, you're just gonna wrap this around. I like to go wrap it around. And then put the string, get it so it goes underneath, so it's holding it down. Get it over the string. And that's all you got to do. You can stop right there. Okay, now we're going to do the high E string. I like to do two ends that lines everything up nice. So, then these nylons on the top three strings do not have the, not as stiff side, so it doesn't matter which end you use. So, put it through. Same principle. I'm going out. This is an odd way for me to do it, but, and then around, and around again. And if I do it right, my string is going that way. Okay, exactly the way I want it. Bring it up here. Same thing as before. I'm going to put it in here. Wrap it around. Same thing, get it over the string to hold it in place. And when I say over the string, I'm saying like that is over the string right here. See that? So that'll hold it in place. That's all you need. You don't need to do it 47 times. Just get it over once and you're good. Okay, we got two strings on. Let me get back over here. I'm not very good at this, but you get the gist. So, as you can see, they're going towards the inside. I'm going to cut some of this excess off, but that's how this works. So now we'll do the next one. The A string on the bottom side. So, first thing you want to do is see how much excess you have. You only want enough to go to the hole. So I'm going to cut some of this off. I got my trusty wire cutters, and I'll go just beyond the hole, cut it off. All right. All right, same thing. Going in the hole. Now when I come up, I want to make sure that I get that little tiny piece outside in. Outside in. Make it kind of hard to twist sometimes, but if you're diligent, you can get it. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to pull this. I'm making sure that I have this one, and as you can see, I got to polish that out. But as you can see, now that one's tied. We're good. Okay, now I got that A string done. Now we're going to work the B on the high side. Same thing, out to in. Okay, all right. So now we have 4 strings done. And up to this point, you can tie all 4 of those strings up tight. It gets interesting now because we're going to put the last 2 strings on, but not only do they have to be able to tighten down the strings that are coming from the side, then they also have to tighten up the strings from the middle. Because what we're going to end up doing is taking those middle 2 strings and they're going to go into each other. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to show up on the video, but here we go. So same thing as always, out to in. I'm going to go around my 2 times. But I'm not going to tie it tight. I'm going to tie it to about here. So I have some room to get something underneath there. And I'm going to cut some of this excess off right away. Okay. Then I'm going to take the G string. The G string, that always sounds good. Sometimes it's better just to shove this in here. All right. So, I'm going to come under here. Out to in. Twice around. Now, before I tighten this up, I want to get this under here. And then I can tighten that up. Then I want to take this and get it under there. And now I can tighten that up. And now everything is into each other. Sweet. Okay, there's the finished product. I got everything tied in nice and neat to each other. This piece is up a little, but that's not the end of the world. Anyway, they're all tied in nicely to each other. I won't catch anything on the ends. And the guitar looks good. It'll take me about a week to get it to where it stays in tune, but other than that, we're good. Anyway, you guys have anything else you want to know, let me know in the comments. Have a good day, everybody.